Yar. Let me tell you about something incredible that happened long, long ago. You know how sometimes the most important conversations happen in the most unexpected places? Well, this is one of those stories. There was this great sage called Vaisampayana. Think of him as the ultimate storyteller of his time. And one day, he found himself at this massive gathering, this incredible yajna being performed by King Janamejaya. Now, this wasn't just any ordinary ceremony. The air was thick with anticipation. Hundreds of learned Brahmins had gathered, and everyone could sense that something momentous was about to unfold. The king himself was restless, seeking answers to questions that had been burning in his heart for years. O great sage Vaisampayana, you are blessed with divine knowledge and have heard directly from Vyasa himself, the most sacred of all stories. I have this burning desire in my heart. I want to know everything about my ancestors, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. What were the circumstances that led to that terrible war? How did Dharma and Adharma clash so violently? What drove my great-grandfathers to such extremes? You see, I've heard fragments, whispers, bits and pieces from various sources, but I crave the complete truth, the real story, with all its complexities and moral dilemmas. Please, illuminate my mind with this sacred knowledge. I am ready to listen with complete devotion and attention. Now, friends, imagine the scene. Here's this powerful king, surrounded by the greatest minds of his time, humbly requesting to hear the story of his own lineage. It's beautiful, no? The humility, the thirst for knowledge, the recognition that true wisdom comes from those who have walked the path before us. Vaisampayana looked at the king with compassion. He could see the genuine hunger for understanding in Janamejaya's eyes. This wasn't mere curiosity. This was a soul seeking to understand the very foundations of Dharma and human nature. The sage knew that this story, the Mahabharata, wasn't just a tale of war and politics. It was the greatest exploration of what it means to be human, with all our contradictions and complexities. Your Majesty, what you ask for is indeed the most sacred of all stories. This is the Bharata, the great epic that encompasses all of human experience. Love, hatred, duty, desire, righteousness, and moral confusion. I learned this directly from my guru, the great Vyasa, who not only composed this masterpiece, but lived through many of these events himself. This story contains within it the essence of all Dharma, all knowledge, all wisdom about how we should live our lives. It speaks of heroes and villains, but more importantly, it shows us that the line between good and evil often runs right through the human heart. I will tell you this story with complete devotion, holding nothing back. But remember, this is not just entertainment. This is a mirror in which we can see our own souls reflected. And so, my friends, began one of the greatest storytelling sessions in human history. Can you imagine the atmosphere? The crackling of the sacred fire, the expectant silence of hundreds of learned men, and the weight of a story that would change how people understood life itself. This is how our beloved Mahabharata began its journey from the lips of one sage to the ears of a king, and eventually to all of us. What started as one man's curiosity about his ancestors became humanity's greatest guide to understanding ourselves. The questions Janamejaya asked that day about duty, about right and wrong, about family and loyalty, these are the same questions we ask ourselves even today, aren't they?